Hello everybody, welcome back to Expedition Homestead.
See this right here?
This right here. I made these for you, and so far, even though we're only a couple of weeks into the experiment, I've already learned some stuff. So that's what we're gonna talk about in today's episode. We're gonna show you what we're growing in here, what we were growing in here, and why it went wrong so far, what we're doing to correct our actions, and all sorts of fun stuff. So if that sounds good to you, I recommend staying for this video. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you're new to the channel, we grow in a zone 5B, so typically this time of year is the time where I start getting inside, gearing up for the winter months so I can keep my mind and gardening skills nice and sharp for you all, as well as me in my personal life, because gardening, as I always say on the channel, is something a little bit more than just growing some plants at home. So what we've done here is we created two little grow beds, which we plan on growing our perennial and annual flowers, our flower cuttings, all kinds of things down here that are not houseplant related. For the most part, probably not vegetables. We might do a couple of significant ones here and there, some specialty tree kale actually that we've got to grow here. But for the most part, kind of sticking to flowers, cuttings, propagations, rhizome division, stuff like that is what we're going to be using these beds for. Now let's get into what I learned already. We were growing butterfly weed, lupine, and then we had some ligularia seeds that we had collected growing over here, hoping that they would germinate and do fine, it would grow for us. We did have some lupine germinate, and we had some butterfly weed germinate for us too. But what I found to be very hard to overcome is keeping up with the watering schedule in this deep of a container for the seedlings. So what do I mean by that? Well, we all know we have to keep seedlings very moist when growing and germinating them during the first few weeks of their life. So in order to keep that high level of moisture up in the top of the soil, I had to put in quite a bit of water. And the result of that was that we were way too wet down low in those tubs and way too dry way up high on the surface where my seeds were growing. So it got me thinking, you know, we have these tried and true methods of starting seeds, like, you know, these are cactus, not seeds, I propagated these, but we have seed starting trays for a reason. So I am now going to germinate my butterfly seeds, my lupine, ligularia, and a couple of other varieties in seed starting trays instead of trying to maybe perfect a way to grow the seedlings in here, because it didn't take me long at all to recognize that this is going to be a hard way, or more difficult, more time intensive way of growing my seedlings compared to a seed starting tray. So that was mistake number one. If I did try hard enough, I could definitely get the seedlings to grow in here, but because of all of the moisture that was in the soil, we also had a Fungusgnat infestation basically that hatched, and I think ultimately is part of what led to the death of our seedlings as well. So I want to simplify this whole thing, right? The reason why I'm just using the seed starting tray now to grow my seeds instead of these containers, we are going to have to transplant our seedlings now, so I don't have to grow right in there. But I do know I can grow these seedlings at a much more effective rate than possibly screwing around with these for another 2 or 3 sets of seeds. I'm gonna get to starting my next round of seeds. I also have some like dark Prince coleus or something like that growing upstairs that I will transplant down here within the next couple of weeks. But since we haven't done one in a while, let's give you an update on our indoor houseplants that we're growing down here in the grow area, give you a nice overview of how everything looks. Not only did I do this for you, but I also gotta give a special shout out and thank you to Active Grow. Active Grow is a United States-based grow company. They hooked me up with these awesome LED 2x4 troffer style grow lights that have bulbs inside of them here. These LED tubes. So they have all different kinds of bulbs that you can interchange in these fixtures. I have a full sun, I think it's called. Sun white, these are sun white. They are 25 watts per tube. And then I have a red bloom spectrum over in that one. There are 4 tubes in each fixture also. Here's the sun white one. And then you see the difference between the red bloom pro. These are horticultural T5 LED strips basically that go into these fixtures. All different kinds of them depending on what types of plants that you're growing as well. So definitely recommend checking them out. I will have the link down in the description below. Also, we can't forget about our Spider Farmer SF600. We put this in a different location because we're gonna start doing some new stuff here in this grow area as well. Up in this area here, we're gonna be doing our winter cuttings, propagations, our seed germinations as well. So I wanted to get a little light that was closer in for the smaller stuff that we're growing. And then we've got that bigger 600 watt LED up there for my taller stuff like the jade, so we can get that all nice and covered as well. So that's why I've got the Spider Farmer here. We've got the troffers down below. We are decked out with LEDs. I love it. Can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun this winter. All right, first we're just going to give a nice overhead shot of everything, and then I will give you some more backstory behind most of these plants, where they come from, how long I've been growing them, etc. The oldest plants that I have in here, I guess, would be like this big cactus Sansevieria planter that we have back there, and then our jade. Those we've been growing for several years, as well as this aloe right here. Been growing that for several years. And then next would be like this Christmas cactus. That was one of the very first videos that we've made on the channel, was about this Christmas cactus and propagating it from this Christmas cactus right here. I'll just put you right there for now. There, that Christmas cactus. And so everything up here is doing pretty well. I've, over the years, kind of narrowed down the plants that I like to grow, plants that I don't like to grow. For instance, like this begonia. I love this thing because I can pretty much kill it time and time again, and I cut it back, reblooms, grows again, and goes through this cycle of beauty. Philodendrons, you know, they are bulletproof, as you can tell. They don't get the most love all the time down here, but the plants that I keep them for a reason, because I can keep them alive. They should be formed around your lifestyle. Our monstera is finally starting to grow a little bit bigger. I swear for years this thing was not growing at all. I did prune it up a little bit, so maybe that is flushing out some new growth from it. Our aloe vera here is a special one because we have a video on this thing almost completely dying back. I mean, like it literally turned to brown mush, the entire plant. And I have a video on what we did and taking care of it and whatnot, and we thankfully revived it, so hopefully it flowers again. We got it to the point where it was flowering really beautiful. This one's growing pretty big too. Another plant like the begonia that just comes back and back is this Chinese evergreen plant. I really like that because of how it has performed when being neglected. I like plants that can be neglected. This thing back here, we do need to do some work on. We've got Opuntia cactus, Sansevieria, some Cholla cactus growing in there. I need to thin it out a little bit, do some propagation. So this winter is going to be a perfect time for projects like that. Like pruning our jade here that we've been growing for several years. We've developed a really nice, strong base at this jade by pruning it back consistently. And I think it looks great. Something we'll have a video on this winter. I also need to take these cacti here, get them into bigger pots because they haven't been growing a whole lot more in the last couple of months. So I think it's time to transfer them to like a 2 or 3 inch pot, something like that. These are all different aloes that I propagated. A Puntia cactus, a beaver tail cactus. You can see there's dead bees everywhere. And then some little fuzzy wuzzy, looks like a clancho or something like that. Succulent over in there in the corner. Out of all of these plants, though, I would say one of my favorite to grow is now this Guatemalense monstrose, or curly Sue. Guatemalense curly Sue. This is a epiphyllum. Beautiful fruit right there. We are going to collect some seeds from that again, as we have in the past. This was actually grown from seed as well, and we're doing a fun little experiment where we're growing it in water hydroponically just to see how it does, and so far it's grown magnificently. This is the mother plant that the seeds were taken off of. Just like that little fruit, we've got a video on how to collect the fruit and how to grow and germinate it. So it's just a really fun plant to grow. Another plant that we have to propagate and clone is this, I think this is like a Swiss cheese or something like that. Mini Monstera. Yeah, Mini Monstera. Something. It's a plant. And I like it, and I got to propagate it because it's like 10 feet tall and elongated because it's just been sitting down here not getting a lot of direct light. So we're going to turn it into a couple of useful cuttings. So everything is growing very well down here, despite how little time that we take on it. It really blows me away. Because if I were taking a lot of time, doing this like full time, boy, I could do a lot. It'd be cool. Very excited. We're going to have a lot of fun stuff keeping me busy indoors here growing in the winter months. Sometimes we've just got to batten down the hatches and deal with the winter. Snow can also be a blessing at times. I think the fall and winter months are some of the most beautiful times for reflection and all that kind of good stuff. Well, if you enjoyed today's episode, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and also notification bell if you'd like to be notified of every time we come out with a new video here on the channel. Wish you all a happy gardening adventure, and I'll see you in the next episode.